the first time I came to Watkins was in 1973, and it blew my mind. I said, oh my God, all this different books, masters, teachers, schools, everything, you know. And it's been expanding, so you imagine everything is here, you know. Well, as Paul mentioned, I live in California. I've been there for 33 years. I'm originally from Argentina, like the Pope. and then I left. I lived in Europe for many years, and then I went to California. You know, I have 4 kids and 7 grandkids. You know. So, and I like to journal a lot. I've been journaling for years and years and years, and I collected essays and published this book. This is the 2nd edition, and I'm working on the 3rd one now. It's called Our Compassionate Kosmos. The interesting thing is that I was looking at, can you hear me okay? Okay. Good, there's a lot of noise out there. I like astronomy magazines, you know, it's incredible pictures of the sky. And I got one in a supermarket, and I saw this. This is supposed to be Cassiopeia, a little corner of the sky, you know. And I thought, I looked at it, oh my God, what is that? It's Kuan Yin. You heard about Kuan Yin, right? Yes. It's not a cloud of stellar dust. It's a being. And known as a being that cares for us, you know. And anyway, so I asked permission for the photographer, and he let me. And I added a little earth down there. It doesn't belong there, but but it's part of the picture. So, what blows my mind lately, I never believed in the Big Bang. You heard about Big Bang, right? Because it's the assumption that everything began at one point, you know. But then people are saying more and more, there's no such a thing as time, you know. Time, we invented time, you know. Time is about the earth going around itself, around the sun and stuff like that. And then we create clocks and computers and mechanize time. But time itself, it doesn't actually exist. So I was always fascinated. I grew up in Argentina, and I used to go to the Patagonia there. When you look at the sky in the winter, in the night, it blows your mind. It's like being in outer space. You see the Magellan constellations and nebulas and stuff like that. So I opened the book with a poem. I just forgot to bring my glasses, but I think I can do it. Yeah. In my youth, under the northern sky, southern skies, in the remote expanses of Patagonia, I contemplated the sparkling heavens, the Southern Cross, the Magellan Nebula, and the innumerable stars of the night. I had binoculars, Navy binoculars that will look, and they say, oh my God, you know, it never ends, never ends, never ends. You know, Galileo invented the telescope, and they started looking, and it was like, oh my God, there's a lot more going on. And now we have Hubble. Are you familiar with the Hubble telescope? Outer space. And have you seen the pictures of Hubble? Yeah. And then you read, oh no, we have a million, no, we have 1 billion galaxies. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So what that does to my mind is this. We're not just a little planet isolated from infinite cosmos. There's a lot going on heaven and earth, Horatio, as beyond that we can imagine, beyond religion, beyond science too. You know, so we heard about the theory of evolution. You know, like life on earth, consciousness, civilization. Here we are, 2018. Everybody has a cell phone. I wonder if that's forward or backwards. But anyway, so What do you think? This is the only evolution we have, or evolution is happening all over the place, across the space? You know? So there's, imagine a billion, a trillion evolutions going on simultaneously right now, all over the universe, right? And do you think there are kingdoms or beings further evolved than us? What do you think? I hope so. You see, we are barely in kindergarten, just going into kindergarten maybe. There are many higher kingdoms. You know. And my understanding is that they are aware of us. They are aware of us because their consciousness is so big, they know that we are babies here. We are struggling with our planet, our earthly civilization, stuff like that. You know. We're doing a lot of messing up, like babies do, you know. That hopefully we're kind of growing up, you know. And for example, I've been, I don't know if you've ever been to the crop circles. I've been there a few years ago. It's amazing, you know, it's just indicate more and more complex. You know. I just came 2 days ago from Medjugorje. You know what Medjugorje is? Who knows what Medjugorje is? You know? It's a place where Mother Mary seems to be appearing to 6 visionaries, they call them. It's very interesting, you know, apart from you believe or don't believe, you don't have to be a Catholic anyway. But so Mother Mary, as far as I see her, she's a great bodhisattva, you know. She cares for us, you know. She's not the only one, you know. You look at the Buddhists have many bodhisattvas. They have their names, you know. Actually, I dedicated the book to Pope Francis and to the Dalai Lama and to my whole family too. But I love those both guys, you know. So, and I use a lot of Sanskrit terms, Buddhist terms, Christian terms. So when it comes to spirituality and religion, I'm not fixed in one particular denomination, kind of thing. So there's a few points that I want to. One is that there's a lot more going on. You say, what's going on? What's going on? How do you know what's going on? Internet, newspapers, media, is that what is going on? It's just a fragment, a little tip. There's a lot more going on. How do you know? Well, go out into nature. Your body knows. Go to the rivers, the mountains, the forest, the planet. The body's connected to the planet. You're breathing air all the time. So your body knows what's going on. Your soul too knows what's going on. There's the stars, everything, you know. I like a quote by William Blake that I put in my book. We are here a little space to learn to bear the beams of love. The beams of love. Love is beaming in all the time from the stars, from the celestial realm, and like high voltage love. And how do we bear them? You know, like transformers. You know, bring high voltage down to be usable. You know, so there's a lot of going on, and Bob Dylan was right. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Remember? It's in the air. The air. The Hindus have a word, prana. We talk about prana, right? Everything we need is actually available, reachable. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's all here. It's all here. Why don't we pick it up? Because we are too concerned with. I use the vertical, horizontal metaphor. Vertical is when you are in tune with the earth and the heavens. You, your heart, your soul, your spirit, yourself. And horizontal is all this pushing and pulling, the society, you know, the media, the civilization, all the things. Yeah. So, I believe we are designed and equipped to actually tune into what's going on. We have AM, FM, shortwave. So there's a heavenly broadcast. How is it that we don't pick it up? Who picks up those heavenly broadcasts? The mystics. You know, directly, no intermediaries, just directly. You know. So we can all do it too. So we are designed, and when we are in tune with what's going on, we are in the flow. We are in the flow of evolution that is happening all over the place. The great challenge is this noise, this dissonance, this interference from all the realms, you know. Okay, we are not isolated. We might feel isolated, lonely, separated, cut off, alienated. Well, we are connected. We are in touch. We have to recover that connection. You know, the subtitle is "Awakening to the Presence of Celestial Love." Many people who had near-death experiences, like you, wake up and say, "Oh my God, we live in a cosmic ocean of love. Love is everywhere. We are made for love, in love, and love is the substance of everything." You know, so even Einstein said that. You know, he was a mystic in his own right. You know, the other thing is about something we lost, the concept of being. You know, we talk about pagans, heathen. They say, oh, they think the trees are sacred, the mountains are sacred, the river is sacred. Well, they are. They are, actually. There's beingness. You know, we call them animists because they believe that the sun is a being. The sun is a being. It's not just a furnace of nuclear energy. It's a being. It's a whole kingdom there. You know, every planet is a being. You know? So we lost this sense of beingness, not just for one another, but for everything. The rocks, the crystals, everything is a being. You know? So we are going through a big change now on Earth, as you probably know, noticed. You know, 2018. Isn't that incredible? Third millennium. So a lot of things going on, changing very rapidly. I think it's for good. I've been accused of being too optimistic. I would say I'm an opti-mystic. And I think I was talking to Paul today, the more of the big picture you start having glimpses, the more optimistic you become, hopeful, because yeah, our world's a mess. It's like a big garden, you know. If you concentrate on the compost pile, it's not going to smell very good. It's going to be it's decay, corruption, breakdown. But the whole universe is not a compost pile, you know. It's a beautiful garden, you know. The other thing, consciousness, you know, you heard about this. Again, near-death experiences. Where does consciousness come from? And people say, well, the materialistic theory is that it comes from the brain. The brain generates consciousness. But it's the other way, not. It's the opposite, actually. Consciousness exists independently of any brain or body. It's everywhere. The brain is like your cell phone, picks it up, you know, but it's not generated by the brain. Many people have that experience, you know. I had it myself, so it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So you can connect. That's why we have telepathy, parapsychology, stuff like that. Consciousness permeates everything. People who connect with animals in an incredible way, you know. The other fascinating thing that I use as a meditation on a daily basis is the idea that the new is coming in all the time. Every day is a new day, believe it or not. Every moment is a new moment. The earth is going around and receiving influences. It's going around the sun, and the whole solar system is moving. The whole galaxy is moving. Everything is moving. And every second is we are being exposed to fresh, there's a sentence there, fresh life from the infinite. And so we wake up and say, okay, I'm going to breathe that, I'm going to take it in. Good morning, good day, good newness, renewal, perpetual renewal happening all the time. Deepak Chopra, you heard about him, he said the body is a river of renewal. Your body is changing all the time, all the time, all the time. So nothing is fixed. The Buddhists have a beautiful word called impermanence. Nothing is permanent. Everything is changing, changing, changing. It's a very scary thought for some people because, oh, we're going to keep it, we're going to keep it. That's fine. Let go, surrender, and renew yourself. Everything is new. Everything is new. A final thought here. Oh, yes. Once I was very curious and I thought, how many people are being born every day on planet Earth? You can go to population statistics, you know, it's an approximation, you know. Every day so many people die, every day so many people are born, right? Hundreds of thousands, of course, because it's a big planet. Yeah. Then I asked the question, how many souls are waking up every day more? So, and my belief is, or my experience is that every single day there's an exponential awakening of hearts. That every day more hearts are opening up, like flowers, like wildflowers. They're opening up, and every day, every moment there are millions and millions of people praying, meditating, contemplating, doing some spiritual practice right now. So when you sit down to pray, to meditate, to do whatever ritual you like to do, you're not alone. You are tuning in with a big field of spiritual practice. And so you are joining that morphogenetic field, that field of consciousness. So we are all growing together, you know. So that's basically the idea that somebody asked me the other day, well, how can the cosmos be compassionate? You know, well, because it's a being. It's a many beings. You know, on the highest compassion, love, mercy, whatever you want to call it. You know, caring, the mother universe, or whatever you want. Not just Mother Nature, Mother Heavens too. So, and I wrote cosmos with K because it's the original Greek word that means infinite divine order, as opposed to Carl Sagan's outer space, you know, which is outer space is a real thing too, but I like it more with K. Other people use the K too. Okay, I think that is. Did I put you to sleep? Your subconscious mind picked it all up. That's okay. Any questions and answers, comments, anything? The newest thing? Okay. But when you discover something, you realize, oh, I heard about this before, but now it's a real thing, you know. I'll give you an example. Oh, I'm sorry. Last summer, I had a heart attack, and I had to have a bypass surgery. So they opened my chest. This what they do these days, you know. I have a quadruple bypass, you know that. And when I was waking up in the intensive care unit, I met my guardian angel, and it showed up just like that, you know. And I thought, this is not a beautiful nurse. This is my angel, you know. And the angel said, everything's going to be okay, without words, you know. It was a total presence, you know. So I always knew I had a guardian angel, but now it was a real thing. And well, we hear about it. There's plenty of books that tell you about it, you know. And another thing that I discovered is surrender. We talk about surrender. But when I was told, okay, you're going to have heart surgery, I said, no, 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 no. I had to surrender. I said, okay, Mother Universe, I am in your hands, and that's it, you know. So I learned to surrender. I just let go and surrender. I was very good, because so many books you can see here, and you can people talk about all kinds of things, but to experience something like forgiveness, love, gratitude, surrender, it's a different thing than you can read about, talk about, but once you experience it, it's a very different thing. So something new is actually happening all the time, and as we open up to it, we can receive it, you know. We can breathe it in, you know, like breathing light or something like that. There's a lot of very high energies available, especially in this store. So what happens if you spend a night in this store? This is scary, isn't it? It's like a museum. Anyway, any other comment? You had a comment, yeah. Well, if I understood your question right, there's a ring around it. We call the ring of noise. It's not just electronic noise, mental noise, emotional noise, that disturbs us. So the first step is silence. All mystics, stillness, silence, solitude. Calm down. And then, beyond the silence, you say, oh, there's something else beyond the silence, and you can pick it up, you know. But first you need to calm down. There's a lot of noise going on here, especially emotional noise, physiological noise. Our body makes a noise, our emotions, feelings, thoughts. So we need to neutralize that noise and see what's beyond the silence. That make sense? Good. Okay. Any more comments, ideas? Paul, you have something in your mind.
That's still a question I had to you before about, so you are an optimist.
Yes.
And you speak these things very clearly presumably out of inner evidence and
Yes.
experience, so you feel.
There was a famous mystic here in England called Julian of Norwich, who is famous for saying, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. People say, what's wrong with the mystics? They don't see the mess we're in? They don't read the tabloids? No, they don't. They have a different pick on the big picture, you know. And my idea is that the more glimpses I have of the big picture, the more optimistic I become, you know. I get criticized by that. Oh, there's a lot of terrible things going on. Yeah, there are, but on the big picture, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe you need to die and then you find out, but it's okay. You know. You must have a comment there. Yeah, people confuse religion with spirituality. They're two different things. You can be very religious and be very fundamentalish, short-sighted, dogmatic, fanatic, all that. You know. We know that, you know. And or you can be very spiritual and not denominational. You know. When you look at the glossary in the book, I have a lot of Sanskrit terms, Greek and Latin, and different languages, different religions. You know, it's very difficult to articulate different stages of consciousness without using other. That's why I quote the Dalai Lama or other people. You know, so yes. Are you a material girl living in a material world?
Are you?
No, no.
I can
No.
see you. You look material to me.
Good, good. The way I understand this is this, that rational consciousness, the one we use, you know, in the office, to balance our checks, to fix our car and computer, very rational. It's very good. but it's very limiting. It's dualistic. And you mentioned shades of gray. The next step is not any more shades of gray, it's rainbow. Nothing to do with being gay, you know? But there are many, diversity. We have cut off diversity. There's a great diversity in the universe, you know? Species, beings, civilizations, consciousness, you know. So the dual consciousness that we are stuck in, black and white, yes and no, is very rational, very useful for certain purposes, but it's impossible to understand our soul with a dual rational consciousness. It goes beyond it. You know. So, yeah, there's beauty, truth, goodness, but it doesn't mean that if you are beautiful, somebody else is not beautiful. You know. It's a very unique thing. You know. That's my understanding.
So are you saying you should transcend the physical universe and exist in the abstract spiritual universe?
Why abstract? The abstract is irrational. The spiritual is not abstract. It's more real than real. People say, oh, you get in touch with the real world. Get a job, you know, make some money. Get real. What does that mean? Get real. For me, it means open up, open your heart, open your soul, open your mind, you know. The big, very
Can I
big.
get really personal and ask you what's your biggest challenge? Have you ever been really, really up against it and managed to stay in the sort of flow of the love that you're preaching?
Yeah. Well, life is a challenge itself. I always use the metaphor that our angels are our coaches. You know, they put hurdles, and the hurdle is there for you to jump over, and then they lift it a little bit more, and then you have to jump a little higher, and sometimes you don't. You fall and you keep trying. You know, so life is full of challenges, definitely.
Have you got any relationships in your life in the past where people would say that you were spiritual?
Yes, yes.
You have enemies, you have people that you rub up against, you have conflicts.
Yes, I actually happened to me like 2 days ago. You know, a woman. So a short story quickly here. Because I'm a psychologist, so as soon as I say I'm a psychologist, people, oh, I'm going through this and this. So I try not to say it because people want to unload. You know, even people you don't know. You know. So this woman started telling me about all kinds of things, and very soon I realized that she was delusional. You know, she had a special mission to put evil out in the world. I thought, oh my God, you know, I was trying to be as polite as I could. You know. And she said, oh, please ask your guardian angel what he thinks or whatever. And she said, okay, I'll tell you tomorrow. So, and I thought, oh, what am I going to say to this woman? You know? So I meet her in the village a couple of days afterwards, and this sentence came out of my mouth. And I thought, oh my God. And it was, the evil you see, you seem to see, because everybody for her was evil. The evil you seem to see is your projection of your own darkness. And she got so mad at me. She was so furious. And she didn't want to, then suddenly I was evil, you know. 2 days later, she came and said, oh, thank you, you helped me get a traumatic thing, a trauma that I had, blah, 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 blah. So it was good after all, but I was shocked because you never know, people react. I said something, you know, I wasn't trying to hurt her, it's just, she was projecting her shadow and everything, you know. And suddenly she said, oh, it's my shadow, okay. And it was an insight for her, you know. So, we have to do our homework. There's a whole appendix that I added there about spiritual. Do we do our homework? When you're a kid, what does it mean to do your homework? Read, write, practice, you know, your musical instrument, your language, whatever. But what is your spiritual homework? Are we doing our spiritual homework or not? You know? And that depends a lot on if we're taking care of our individual homework. It wasn't just so black and white. I put a mirror in front of her, and she was shocked. And then she had an insight on herself.
So
That
you're
was
saying
it.
it's good to be cruel to be kind sometimes?
No, well,
Were you not being cruel to her?
yeah, I wasn't being cruel. I was just telling her what I saw. That's all. Yeah,
But it had a reaction where she was upset.
yeah, she was. She was very upset. Yeah. It happens sometimes, you know. And sometimes somebody tells you something and you become real upset. Feedback, you know, a friend, somebody, you know, they say, hey, what are you doing? What are you? And then you say, oh my God, yeah. And then that's how we learn. Feedback. Yes. Yeah. I believe there's a purpose in forgetting our past incarnations, because if we remember, we'll be in trouble, you know. You did this to me, you killed me, you loved me, you did. Very confusing. So it's better to forget. I believe in reincarnation for sure, but different worlds, different planets, different dimensions. It's very complex. I'm not an expert on that, but and people think they were all kings and queens and saints and initiates. You know, you could be had a pretty bad incarnation before, so it's better not to know. Just work on this one, like Thoreau said, one world at a time. It's good enough. You know, if people want to know too much too soon, and then you get confused. You know.
Wouldn't we be a lot more wise if we had the memory of our past incarnations?
Well, some people, some very high developed initiates of saints, they get it,
Yeah.
even if they're not looking for it. You know. But if we are too immature, it will be dangerous to have it.
I question that.
Well, that's my thought. I don't know. If it's not going to help you, why remember your
It's like amnesia. I mean, how can amnesia be beneficial?
right? Yeah. Well, Plato had a beautiful word called Anamnesis. Anamnesis, which means the opposite of forgetfulness is remembrance. You know. But it's not remembering if you were a king and a queen or a pirate, you know. Is your soul, you remember your essence, not your, it's like an actor, you don't remember all the movies you did before. That's a different thing. You remember who you are as an individual. That's my understanding. Okay, well, thank you so much for showing up. And remember, be open to the new. Tomorrow is a totally new day. Good, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.